this episode of OSFirstTimer, Dinah will be trying out Encarta 98 from 1997, which is basically an electronic encyclopedia packed with knowledge, timelines, activities and games. Will Dinah be able to speak other languages and correctly answer random questions about the world, or will things spin out of control? Keep watching to find out. So here you are on the desktop of Windows 98 and you're about to try out Encarta 98 Encyclopedia. Now that was basically a paid digital multimedia encyclopedia published by Microsoft from 1993 until 2009, when it eventually died due to competition from free online encyclopedias such as Wikipedia. Now each year a new version was released on CD and later DVD before it eventually made its transition to being online based. So today you're going to be trying out the 98 version of Encarta, which was released in 1997. So can you
the 98 released in 1997.
Yeah, it's like the Guinness Book of Records or whatever you call it. You know how they always say 2018 version, and that's actually the 2017 in July they released it or something like that. Moving on, so just on the desktop there you'll see Encarta 98 Encyclopedia. Let's open it up. And it's going to do some music, but we're going to skip that. You know what YouTube is like with copyrighted music. Now what this basically is, it's like, you know those encyclopedia books with information about everything. Back in the 90s, this was a fantastic resource to have on your computer. This could even be an alternative to the internet for study purposes. So if you have kids that need the internet, but you don't have quite enough money to be paying monthly or weekly for the internet or whatever.
This would be an alternative, but the thing is, this you have to search for the information under headings and all this sort of stuff, whereas if you're browsing the net, you could even type in a question and then it gives you all the search results based on that question you asked.
Actually close. This isn't just a PDF of an encyclopedia. You can search particular words and it'll show you all the articles with those words in it. So this is the advantage, and it even has activities, videos and stuff that you can watch of the encyclopedia articles, photos. So it's not good. It's got an advantage. Or you can even test your knowledge and do little games and stuff where it asks you questions and stuff like that.
Mind maze. Master this challenging game.
You're going to be doing that later, but first of all, we're going to start off with your first task, which is to search the encyclopedia articles for gold and find its melting point.
Okay, articles?
Now, the little pinpointer has come up and it says type in an article title.
Okay.
So you want to find out gold. Now, as you can see, the information about gold's here. It's got its atomic number, so on, electron configuration, a big, massive amount, and you can scroll down and read all about it. But you just want to simply find gold melts at about how many degrees?
Oh, okay. So I want to go back to that little searching thing. Rather than scrolling down and trying to find it here, I wonder if I type in gold melts, whether it'll pinpoint exactly where it is to save me the trouble of...
Have a little go. I can already see it on the screen at the moment.
No, I know,
you
but
want to try it like
it.
that. You want to test it? Okay.
So I want to go back, gold melts.
And it's highlighted the words for you.
Oh, there it is.
Gold melts at about 1064 degrees Celsius. So if you want to have a liquid
that's
gold...
good. I can wear my jewellery on a really burning hot day and not worry about it melting.
Yeah,
because I would melt before it melts.
So that's the advantage of gold. It's much better to wear gold jewellery than it is to wear gallium jewellery. Anyway, next up...
Gallium?
It literally turns into liquid metal. You hold it in your hand. In fact...
There.
Now looking up gallium on this, and gallium melts at 30 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
So because your body is like 37 degrees, that means if it's in your hand, and what people often do is, in science labs and stuff, there's this trick where you get a gallium spoon, they'll get a mould, they'll melt it, make the gallium spoon, then put it at someone's dinner table to eat or something, or at lunchtime trick, and they'll just put their spoon next to it.
The only thing is,
and you hold it, and it'll start melting in your hand as you're...
I want to see somebody be able to do this trick. I want somebody to be able to boil it in their hand. I want to see that.
It boils at 2,400 degrees. Anyway, moving on from this task now, I want you to look up Sydney using the place section in the pinpointer to find its population.
Time, place.
So here you go in cities, you can actually see it's got a bunch of cities. So if you couldn't quite remember what city you're looking for, you can kind of scroll down and find it in this list. You went past it. It's in alphabetical order. You went past it again. And there we go, you found the article, Sydney, Australia here. Now that just goes to show you, you could have typed in just Sydney and just gotten it straight away, but if you were kind of like, oh, I need to find out about a city, and you didn't quite know what city, you know, or maybe it's something like that, you could find it like that as well. That's an alternative way to do it.
Yeah,
but there you go, then you get an article about Sydney, it's got a photo there, but remember this is quite outdated now, considering it was back in 1997 it was written. See, Sydney has a population of 3.7 million. It's now over 5 million, so yeah, it's quite outdated information. Just another little example now of how you can use another section in the pinpointer. Can you go to the categories area and find information about a bird known as the goat sucker? The goat sucker.
I'm assuming that bird sucks goats.
Well, let's find out.
They wouldn't call it a goat sucker if it didn't.
Where do you think
Life
the
science?
animal section would be?
Well, there's pets, but I don't think anybody has a goat sucker as a pet. No. Life science, birds. That's where I would have assumed it would be.
Yep, and now a bunch of birds have appeared in here. So you could find out about any of these birds here.
Goat sucker. Does it have every single bird in the world?
I don't know about that. I mean, they keep adding more and more. They've got 1,249 bird articles here, you see. And this just goes to show you the power of CDs back then.
There it is. Well, it's not sucking a goat, it's sitting on a pole.
See?
Night jar. So what does it do? Fly around the night in a jar?
The name goat sucker is derived from an old European belief that these nocturnal birds use their large mouths to suck milk from goats.
I would love to see that.
There we go. So what do you...
The goat probably thinks it's its babies.
Yeah, do you think back in the 90s...
So cute.
If you didn't have internet, this would have been a good tool?
Well, let's just say, back in the 90s, you would be really upset you didn't have internet because you would then want to see a YouTube video of one of these.
YouTube didn't exist.
Well, you'd want to see a video of one of these sucking a goat. I want to see one now. That is amazing.
It looks like a video, though.
Oh, is it? No, it's just the sound of it. And it's...
Well, there are videos on this included, but they're very bad quality, compressed. Moving on now, in the multimedia section of the pinpointer, find a 360-degree view. Wait a sec. You search.
It would have found a 360-degree view of a goat sucker.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Okay, find a 360-degree view of a random place in the world.
360-degree view.
And you can see any of these, and these have 360-degree views of different places. You've got Chicago there, you've got Cleveland, limestone.
I've never heard of that place. I wonder if they have limestone there.
I don't know
I'm
if
going to go
it's
there.
specifically a...
It's actual limestone.
Yeah, I thought so.
I thought there was a place called limestone. But that doesn't look like a 360-degree view.
360-degree view. Insert disc 2. So it came on 2 discs. I can insert disc 2. That's okay. You control and look around.
But I can't see limestone.
No, but the point is it's a 360-degree view. You're going a bit fast.
Oh, I'm getting dizzy.
There you go. See, and that's how you can move around and look around 360-degree views. It's a lot better than just a normal encyclopedia.
Yeah. Where's the limestone?
It's just saying these are the limestone pinnacles, and they rise along both sides of the river.
Maybe they're limestone, those mountains.
Yeah, maybe those are limestone mountains. Next up, can you get a dictionary definition for the word windbag?
Windbag sounds actually like a chatterbox. Or somebody that won't stop talking. My dad used to call me a windbag, actually.
A tiresomely talkative person. You actually got it. I didn't think you'd actually know it.
I did know it because I used to be called a windbag by my dad when I was little.
I see. Well, see what I mean? This is a dictionary where you've got a dictionary, you've got all these articles of everything. Anyway, now you're going to check out another advantage of having an electronic encyclopedia. Can you kind of return to the home page now? Let's say you've had enough at looking at all the articles. How do you think you'd return back to the home page?
Home.
Great, that was easy. And now I want you to try and check out the timeline and find out about the Apollo moon landing. It's going to be some kind of an interactive feature somewhere. Where do you think this would be? The timeline. Without using online features.
Okay,
so no,
it's
not online features.
Must be media features.
Yeah, what's on the disc itself. And you want to see a timeline.
Oh yeah, easy.
So what you can actually do here is, using the arrow keys, you can look at a huge timeline here. And on this timeline, there's all these articles. And you can click on articles and learn more about, like, say, the first Olympic Games in 800 BC, or maybe you want to find out about Socrates in 400 BC, and you can actually click on these and find out more about them. So anyway, you're going to now find out about, as I said, the Apollo moon landing. So let's say you wanted to find out about that. Where exactly would you go? See how big this timeline is?
Yeah, it's pretty
Imagine
big.
trying to fit this in a book.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have the timeline split across different pages. I mean, it could kind of work, but it's just a bit more fun like this, and you can click on articles and get to them. I mean, in a book, I guess you could do a situation where it says go to page 58 if you want to find
There's
out
a
more.
lot of information.
Yeah.
Oh, only up to 1997.
1997 when it was released.
Oh, I'm thinking, what happened to year 2000?
Yeah, it doesn't exist. This is a very old program, so you want to
So
find
we're
out.
in the future.
Apollo moon. Yes, we're in the future.
Oh yeah, it was in the 60s. So that would have been somewhere here. No. Oh yeah, Apollo.
What do you mean, nah? You
No,
put your
because
cursor
it
over
said United States becomes a world power.
Yeah, but the United States becoming a world power does not look like this white suited
well, that's
person
why I
with
was
a black
wondering why
face.
that was talking about that. But anyway.
Okay, I'm all up boom. So there you go. 1969's humans apparently landed on the
Apparently,
moon for the first time.
that's the word. Apparently,
Moving right
because it's
on.
very controversial as to whether they actually did.
That's one
or whether
small
it was
step for
staged.
man and one giant
Life for
scam
humans.
for humankind. Anyway, keep moving on. Okay, so next up, in the interactivity section, find out how to speak a few phrases in Japanese, and I'll test you on your pronunciation with Google Translate.
Okay, so I get out of that interactivities.
You want to
world
learn about
languages.
Yep, and you want to find phrases in
Phrases.
specifically Japanese. So
Oh, this is
in
Albanian. Okay, well, Japanese would probably be.
Carter.
So kata is how you say four in Albanian.
Yeah, I actually want to go up to.
So does it not
Oh, wait,
seem
wait,
very
wait.
specific?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, you
I
figured
found
out.
it. Now, Japanese. A, B, C, D, F, Japanese.
Okay,
Yep.
so here are some phrases. Just click on a few so you can hear them.
So,
私の名前はまさしです。
There we go.
wow, that's fast. They should be auctioneers. They would
it's
make
just-
great
It's
auctioneers.
just
Or
'cause you
race,
don't understand it.
you know, racehorse races and
Yeah,
that
you're
sort of
just
thing.
not
They would
used
be
to their
good.
language. I mean, in Australia, they probably think, wow, we speak really fast, you know.
No, we speak slowly.
No, you're only just speaking slowly because you're trying to say how slowly we use it. I'm saying we don't really speak that fast. And
Yeah, but
we speak
he says,
slowly.
my name is Diana. Like that. He was just saying what his name is. Why did he have to speak so fast? I mean, people would have missed it. You should say, my name is Diana.
Okay,
No.
well, let's have a little go. Just click on thanks.
ありがと
Okay.
Karikako. Karikako.
Now, I'm going to now test you with Google Translate, okay?
Yeah.
You're going to speak into the phone, and it's going to say what you said in Japanese into English.
う。ありがと
Do you understand how to
think
say
so.
it? Now, say it into my phone.
Padikako.
Buy a bargain.
Buy a bargain.
Oh, that's-
I thought you said buy a bargain.
That's what I usually do. That's what I usually
You're
do.
supposed to make it say thanks. Can I just...
Well, I'll say thanks once I get a bargain.
Yeah. Try one more time. Here we go. Listen to it again. Thanks.
う。ありがと
Padikako.
Paris painter.
So it thought you said Paris painter. You're not very
How
good
about
at
I just
speaking
say something?
Japanese. I want to see if you can actually say at least one word in Japanese and have it recognise you.
Well,
う。は
the,
い。はい。
yeah, I'll do that one.
Hi. So yes, ready?
Wait,
So you
let me
gotta
hear
say-
it again.
はい。
So yes is hey.
Hi.
Yes.
You got it.
Yes. Hi. Hi.
Okay.
Now no, because it's even less than
Okay.
yeah, it's shorter than yes.
いいえ。
Yeah.
Okay, here
Sounds
we go.
like he's trying to say yeah. Yeah.
Disagreeable.
Well, people who say no are usually disagreeable, so
Okay.
that'll do.
Okay.
Now,
さようなら。
I'll have a little go. Sayonara.
Goodbye.
I did it! I did it! Okay, you'll
You've
go.
been
Ready?
practicing
No, I
for
didn't.
ages.
I literally, that's
Let
the
me
first
hear
time
it
I've
again.
heard it.
さようなら。
say Noria.
I'm talented.
I am.
I'm telling
I am. See?
Yeah, but you can't say goodbye.
No, but I knew how to say I'm talented. So that really is
Yeah, but
talented.
imagine in Japanese, if you're at some restaurant and something, and you're leaving and you say, I'm talented, and then you leave out the door.
They probably
Okay.
won't want you to go.
Let's try it. Very last one. We've got to try and say the proverb,
天石苔をも小説。
which is
does it
Rolling
have to be so
Stones.
long?
Rolling
Oh.
Stones gather no moss.
Oh,
That's what it
no.
is. So ready? So let's try the proverb again. I'm going to hear it. I'll try it now.
天石苔をも小説。
Teinkaki kasodegokloge.
Pen destination shipping video call.
So I obviously didn't get anywhere near close to the Rolling Stain Gathers No Ross.
I can't even say it in English.
Okay, your go.
天石こけをも小説
Penseke kokelijokolia.
Nail set with a pen tip.
Nail set with a pen tip. Okay, so unfortunately none of
Okay.
us could get anywhere
Can
near
I just
saying.
say something random and see what it comes up with?
Okay.
Autumn salmon sky or something.
Autumn salmon sky. Autumn
It is
salmon
autumn.
sky.
I got
like
the
that.
autumn right. It is.
Autumn salmon sky or something. Anyway, we're
Can
gonna.
I do one more? This is really
Oh,
fun.
come on, we're
Just
supposed to
one
be.
more.
Let's go quickly.
Anyway.
Really good.
Anyway.
That's more like in bird language. That's probably
Okay.
what the birds say to each other when there's danger coming.
Okay, moving on now because we're having a bit too much fun with this. We're gonna now move on.
To a different language and have more fun.
No more languages.
Let's have a
You
look.
could do a whole video of this. You're gonna play a game of mind maze to test your knowledge. Quit everything. No.
Trying to get back
Okay.
into it.
So you're gonna play
You
a
won't
game.
let me.
You're gonna play a game of mind maze. I know you love
I think
language.
that was more fun.
Here is mind maze. Now, if you know everything in the encyclopedia, you're going to be doing quite a good job here. So click on new player, type in your name, and let's get inside. Now, you are now inside a maze, okay? You're this little man here. See this little dot? It's not really a man, it's just a red dot.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and find your way to here.
Oh, okay.
Going through the doors and stuff. Anyway, we're going to do level 1 with all areas of knowledge.
Just one.
So first of all, choose a door you want to go inside. What door do you want to go in?
That one.
That one. Okay, here we go. So choose a door now. That's the door going forward. So academic discipline that deals with recorded knowledge. What is that called? Academic freedom, accounting and bookkeeping, information science, or fellowship?
I don't know. Fellowship. It's not that. It might be information science.
Okay. You did it.
Oh, it
So,
was.
and you've moved through one door forward. See how you're one door forward? And there's only one door ahead that you can go, which would take you forward again.
Okay.
In commerce, periodic or occasional meeting of buyers and sellers with their merchandise for purposes of trade.
It could be foreign exchange, but I think it's fair.
You did it!
Oh.
Fantastic, and you've moved through the maze yet another place. Now you can try and go through the next door, and you've got to basically get yourself to that place. Game of cards in which players attempt to lose as many tricks as possible in order to avoid having cards in the heart suit. So that answer's incorrect. You get one more go. Nah.
I don't know my card
You're not
games.
good at card games. Okay, you can click on that door again and try and get through it. It'll be a different question. Sport in which two contestants use holds and techniques in an attempt to force the opponent's shoulders against the mat. I'd probably think no, judo or wrestling.
Yeah, judo maybe.
We obviously, it was probably wrestling.
Well, I don't do violent games.
We do, okay. In economics, an accumulation of goods having economic value. It's,
Wealth. Yeah, that's easy.
okay. And see how you're
Go
moving
backwards.
through a little maze.
But if I go there, I'll go back to where I was. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go there.
The solid residue of combustion.
I don't know. Oh, it's ash. Yeah, of course. How stupid. I didn't see ash there.
Okay, now there's two ways you can go. Either see how there's a little spot,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
that way,
I think I
or
might
forward.
go that way.
Now look, click on a torch. That shows you for one moment the whole map.
Oh no. I have to go up here.
Up and then around
One,
and to
two.
there.
What a silly thing to...
But it disappears, it only shows you very briefly, so you've got to memorise it. An organ that stores urine after its formation by the
Bladder.
kidneys. Congratulations.
Oh, I can only see it a few times.
5 times.
Oh, okay. I think I know what to do. I think I know what to do.
Anyway, we're going to finish up here. This was just a little showing you how it is, the Republic in Western Europe, bounded on the north via the English Channel. And
I
no,
don't know.
sorry. If you get this wrong, you officially have to finish.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, you're finished.
Chad didn't give it to me.
So there we go. That is mind maze, so that's a good way to test your knowledge, I guess, if you want to practice, and you were on level 1, which was quite easy.
Okay.
So there we go, that was mind maze. Moving on. So
Two
that was...
languages.
No, we're not doing any more of this now. There's a lot more things you can do in Encarta, but we're not moving on to Encarta. They release one of these every year, remember? So Encarta just kept getting better and better and better until...
Is there an Encarta 2018 or it's finished?
I'm aware of an Encarta 2003 CD. I actually had the 2001 Encarta CD when I was little.
Where'd you get that from? I don't know.
It came free with a computer.
Oh, okay. Did you get that from Target?
No, it was a packet of the chips that I stole from Target. Anyway, basically, I'm joking, by the way. No packets of chips have
You've
been
never
stolen.
stolen a thing in your life.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to try out something called the virtual globe now. So let's exit this. So you're going to open up the Encarta World Atlas 1998. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to view the world. Now, what this is basically imagine you've got a 3D globe on your desk. But instead of this just being a boring 3D globe on your desk, this is one on your computer screen, one that you can spin around and rotate and look at different places of the world. Not only that, you can zoom in on and see different places like this. You see what I mean? So it's almost like, imagine Google Earth, but back then. So your first task is I want you to try and zoom in onto Hobart.
Okay.
Okay, so there we go. And there you can see different things around the Hobart region. You can see suburbs, Newtown, Moona, Glenorchy, South Hobart, Sandy Bay. So it just goes to show you that this is almost like a bit of a resource, but it's not as useful as Google Earth. You know why?
Or Google Maps.
Or Google Maps.
How could you?
They're both the same
What if you're
thing.
trying to drive along the road trying to work out where you're going? You're using this. You could technically.
No, you couldn't because
Doesn't
you
have
can't
roads?
see roads. It's only got main roads.
Maybe if you're walking.
You see? You wouldn't...
Walk around the world.
It would only be, useful for, let's say, you're in Kingston, you're like, what direction is Hobart? Do I go north? Do I go that way?
Well, that's where a compass would come in handy, actually.
Yeah, okay. But you see, it's not quite for that. It's just more of a globe. It's just showing you the world. It's sometimes more specific about certain areas. So, for example, look at the information you've got about Hobart here. Now, if we come into Sydney over here, it's quite a bit more informative when it comes to Sydney. You can see Manly. It just...
Oh, Taronga Zoo, I was
It's
there.
got, more place names and stuff like that, you see, and you can see all the suburbs and stuff. But if you go to a place out, let's say going out Western Australia, just going down a little bit south of Perth, it's not even telling me the different suburbs of Bunbury.
Yeah.
East Bunbury, South Bunbury,
Yeah.
Withers down there, and Usher. It's very unspecific. It's not very useful. Next up, what I want you to do is change it to satellite imagery. By the way, what is one thing, just before we move on, what's one thing about Australia that it's definitely looks like is a bit wrong here?
Well, the green in the middle, is there that much green in the middle?
It's extremely green.
Isn't it more desert?
Yeah, and it makes Tasmania look a bit deserty as well.
Whereas Tasmania's supposed to be more green.
Yeah, exactly. So if we switch over to satellite imagery, it might show us a bit better of an example. So switch over to satellite imagery.
Where is satellite?
We'll have a little look. Where do you think you might switch to
Map
satellite
styles.
imagery? And daytime.
Well, you wouldn't see anything at night.
And there we go, that shows you it is a lot
that's
more
a bit
deserty. There we go. That's much better as an example. So yeah,
It is actually. And
a lot of
Tasmania's a lot
Australia-
more greener, which
Yeah.
is the way it is.
Exactly. So there we go, and you can see, the whole world like this. How about you go over and show us nighttime? What does nighttime look like? And there we go, nighttime, you see the city lights at night.
Wow.
And that almost shows you, you can see, look,
But
people
look,
live over here in Perth,
Everybody's
Sydney.
sleeping in Hobart.
No, there is
Oh, no.
a little bit of light in
dim.
Hobart. See, just zoom in a bit and you can see
Oh, Hobart and Launceston.
Hobart, Launceston, and then Devonport and Burnie, you can see just almost like slight bits of light, barely anything. And then Melbourne, a bunch of light. Over here, a bunch of light in Sydney.
People never sleep
Brisbane,
there.
Perth over there in that corner. You can really see in Adelaide here, you can really see where people,
And
are.
this is real images.
Yeah, this is real
Wow.
satellite imagery. And the US is much more lit up and much more densely populated. See all that?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Let's now...
What do they say in the US? Seattle, the city that never sleeps, or something
I
like that.
think it's New York,
New
the
York.
city that never sleeps.
Oh, okay.
But they seem to use that a lot now, on that term, so they kind of use it for all the
America, the country that never sleeps. Look at it.
Anyway, we were just talking about population. I want you to check out the human population map style. So in the map store, see if you can find something about human population. And there you go, the more red, the more population you can kind of see. For us, we probably...
Very red up there.
Yeah,
Where's
look at that.
That's Africa, isn't it?
Well, that's Africa.
Oh, no,
Look,
that's Africa.
the big word, Africa.
Well, what's that? That must be...
That's near Asia.
Where is everybody? They've left the country.
Yeah, Australia is actually not very populated. I mean, sure, you can see, Brisbane, Gold Coast, that area, and then Sydney, Melbourne, Perth region, Bunbury,
But
and all
even the
that.
Northern Territory is not.
Darwin's the only real major population.
And no one lives in Alice Springs.
They do, but it's just not enough people to actually be important on this map. So you see, down here you can see, look, most people in Tassie, they live here at the bottom in Hobart and at the top Burnie, Devonport and Launceston, but they're not really much else.
Yeah.
Most of the rest of Tasmania is pretty empty. So that's just a really interesting map to show you. Australia is so unpopulated in
As compared to there.
Yeah, look at how red this is, and Europe and that kind of thing. Anyway, I want you to just look at a video now. A video of bustling Tokyo. So
Okay,
look somewhere in all these tools, options, or just somewhere find. It could be anywhere up here.
Videos. And what am I looking for? Bustling...
Or busy Tokyo. Maybe I read it wrong when I was making the tasks. Busy Tokyo. And there we go. You can see over here, Tokyo. And it's quite busy, isn't it? And that just shows you how, you can watch videos and stuff on this and learn a little bit more about the culture, but it's very blurry because they're trying to fit this all on a tiny little CD-ROM, Anyway...
That was probably the person who was filming their kids.
Yeah. Well, anyway, just before we finish up this video, you did a little thing on the, Encarta encyclopedia side
Can I
of it
see
where
a
you
little
tested your
video of
knowledge.
Dubai?
I don't think they'd have a video of Dubai. They're very limited in what they have.
So I'm just thinking you're not even allowed to take pictures of people in Dubai.
Well, you can take pictures of buildings and stuff, but they can be a little bit, they don't quite like it when you take a video of like if you take a photo, someone's in it, they see that photo on social media, they're like, no, you can get into a lot of trouble.
No Dubai.
Yeah, no Dubai. That's okay. Anyway, we're now going to move
I want
on.
to see that, daily tasks.
So they sing, they prepare meals in shed farming, and they go to the markets and stuff.
On the back of a truck.
But you see, it's a very different lifestyle there. It really gives you perspective on it. It's almost like travelling the world without travelling the world. Although today we've got YouTube, so this is very outdated. I mean, the quality here is probably like, I'd say 144 or 240p.
Yeah.
It's just so it can fit on the CD itself. I now want you to try and attempt to play Name That Place game. Let's see how... I mean, we're not very
really
good with the
bad.
world. We're just going to do a very easy level, though.
Really
so you're going to
bad.
just do Navigator. You're not going to do World Class or anything. So here we go. What country is this lit up country here? What
Can I
country
see
is that?
the rest of the globe?
No, that's what. Let me see if you can or not. Yeah, you can actually.
you can.
So what country specifically is that little thing? So it looks like it's in Africa, the continent Africa. But what country is that out of those ones there?
Isn't Africa a country?
No, Africa is a continent with a bunch of countries in it.
Okay, well, I don't think it would be Italy. I don't think it's France or Turkey. I think it's Kenya.
Nah, you've lost
Get
the
it.
point.
I don't think it's Egypt.
I think it's Egypt myself.
Do you?
I personally think it's
France,
Egypt.
Turkey, Italy. I don't think... Well, Egypt seems like it's like... I don't think it's that, or that.
So you basically lost the point there. There you go, you got it. It was Egypt. Now, what country is this?
I have to scroll out again.
See, the reason this is hard for us in Australia is because in Australia, the whole continent Australia is just one country. We don't have split countries and stuff.
We don't.
So for us,
I
like...
think it's Russia.
Nah, wrong. But yet, like, we look at Africa and we think, oh,
I did it.
we
It's
think
Poland.
Africa is a country, but it's
what
not.
are these
It's split.
little islands?
That one I know is probably Japan. I could tell, I'm telling you that's Japan. That's Japan. It's almost, because I remember I said Japan is almost like a New Zealand, just
Okay.
up there.
Russia, Vietnam, and Pakistan, France, or Iran. Maybe it's Iran? No.
It just goes to show you how much,
Oh, it was Pakistan.
how little we know about the rest of the world, you know?
We do.
That's probably the UK. There we
How do
go.
you know? You know better than me.
That one is so easy.
Oh, that is easy. New Zealand.
There we go.
Yeah, I knew instantly.
What city is that?
I wouldn't have a clue.
Could you imagine how difficult it would be to do level... Do you want to just see what level 4
Okay.
questions look like? Let's just see what they look like.
Well, see what... Oh, yeah, we did. We'll never know what city that was. Maybe they'll have to put that in the comments, what city that was.
That's for the...
I wonder how many people are in that city watching this, thinking,
oh
you
my
are
gosh,
so silly.
how do you not know that? Yeah, see, level 4, it specifically asks, what city is that? Right there. Straight away we're getting what city is that questions. And it's like, I look at that and I go, I don't know.
You know what?
What?
Let's both have one guess each.
Oh, you... Okay.
I'm going to guess
The
that.
bottom one. The bottom, no.
Okay, now my guess.
And my guess, I guess it's Manaras. Yeah, there we go. What city is this?
What
Where's the
even is
city?
that? Adamstown?
Oh, it's probably Port Vila, actually. I'd say that's Port Vila.
No, I think it's a bit far from...
Oh, bummer.
No,
okay,
no,
you
no,
probably
no.
know it then.
Well, it's not Adelaide.
Adelaide's in Australia.
No.
Well, I'd guess that bottom, yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough now, but it just goes to show you how this can really test your knowledge of the world. And it's like a 3D world. You can zoom in, look at different
Yeah.
places, learn about different places. So overall, Encarta, it's almost like the
Wish they had one of Australia.
Just Australia
Yeah.
questions. Yeah, that'd be pretty easy. But yeah, it does worldwide. But there we go. That is
Encarta.
Encarta, the
what
encyclopedia
it
version of
was.
Encarta and the World Atlas version of Encarta. Now, what do you think of both these pieces of software? Do you think they're both useful pieces of software?
Well, let's just say I think they would have been a lot more useful back in their time.
Oh, yeah,
now
definitely.
that we have the internet.
Well, we had
But-
internet back then, but back then it was a bit more expensive. It was slow dial-up internet, and this was just all on a CD, nice and quick.
Well, it
and
would
you
have been a
didn't
good
to pay- yeah.
alternative to the internet for that sort of thing. If you,
Yeah.
and it would have been cheaper, obviously.
And back
too.
then it was, in Australia at least, it was very, internet was stressful because they'd say, okay, you get 200 hours a month, or 100 hours, or 50 hours a month.
And it was very expensive.
You know, and, you know, if you're paying for 50 hours a month, it's not about the data, it's just turn your modem on. You're being charged from that moment you turn your modem on. And, you know, it's tick, 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 and your phone's being held up with dial-up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
yeah.
can't make phone. So it was very, it's about like, oh, quicker than this.
So this
was
would have
just
been a
CD.
stress-free,
As long as you like.
cheaper alternative.
Yeah.
But pretty useful too.
Not sure about
I
what the
think you
rest of
could
the world
even-
was like with internet. I'm just saying Australia.
Yeah. I
here.
think you could have learnt a lot from it and had a lot of fun, and I think it would have been better than just plain books that are so uninteractive.
A lot more interesting, yeah. This would have been
uninteractive,
great
yeah.
at schools,
This is
I
much
guess.
better.
Yeah,
'Cause this is
fantastic.
Very interactive.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, that was Encarta 1998 edition, released in 1997. It completely failed, and this was no longer continued on in the future, because in 2009, I think that was when they completely stopped it, 2009.
Right.
Microsoft actually sold it in 2006 to another company, and yeah, it just went downhill. Basically, the biggest killer of Encarta was basically Wikipedia, you know, the free online, so you no longer have to pay for it. And of course, Wikipedia it's online, it's got so much more information, and then you've got the rest of the internet, YouTube and everything just killed this. So there we go, this is almost like Google Earth back in the 90s, and the internet almost back then, a nice offline internet. Anyway, we will see you guys next time in the next episode of OS First Timer. Bye.
Bye.